Right at the top of the paper, Olivier, is a caveat. These are your opinions, not the official French and German position. So can you just clear up for us what the status of this report is?
It's just a group of reflections that was convened by the French and the German Secretary of State on European Affairs. So we are 12 independent, non-paid experts who were asked to brainstorm on the future of EU institutions. And basically what we proposed, we did not consult the ministers, and they discovered the report last week. And so basically they did not endorse our proposal, but we just tried to find out what are the solutions to prepare for the future of the EU.
So tell us then about the different tiers. How would they work, and what kind of countries might they involve?
So basically, we consider that the EU is already a multi-speed Europe because you have the EU with 27, and then you have an inner circle with a country participating in the euro and the Schengen, the free circulation thing. And then you have a number of countries that have very specific relation with the EU. If you think about Norway, Switzerland, Turkey, or the microstate which use the euro, for instance. And then you have the whole continent. And so our idea was a bit to organize that a bit better, to say, okay, there is a EU that remains center. Within, there is an inner group of countries that are maybe willing to do more for some policies like industrial policy, defense. Then you have that outer tier that we could clarify a bit to give a similar status to all those countries which have very specific relation with the EU. And then there is a broader circle, which is basically the one of the whole continent, which starts to be organized now with the European political community. So that was our idea, and to say that each country can just belong to which circle that country wish.
And how does this coincide or overlap with concepts like the European Economic Area?
Yeah, exactly. The European Economic Area is one of those reality of that larger circle of countries that are connected to the EU. It is very clear that some of those states, they are very much interested in having some relation with the EU, but they're not interested in getting in the EU with the story of the ever closer union. And we thought that for those countries, we need some sort of better structure to have some sort of common frame for them. In order to better organize a relation between the EU and those countries, and also maybe giving those countries access to the single market.
Mm. And how do you expect think that people who obey all the rules and who've signed up to be in the EU will feel about these countries who are kind of dipping their toe in, they're half in and half out? Do you think they'll take kindly to that?
Yeah, it's already the case. For instance, if you consider Turkey is already a country that has access to the single market. Switzerland is already very much involved in so many policies, including the free circulation. There will still be a very important difference between the country of the 27, which are sharing many policies, and those of the larger circle that will be only in the single market. So I don't see an issue here. And also we have insisted very much on the fact that respecting the rule of law, respecting the fundamental values of the EU would be a condition to be in that larger circle. So the point was to avoid making that larger circle maybe a solution for the member states that are not so fond of the rule of law and things like that, namely Hungary and Poland, for instance, in the current state, and to say, okay, if you want to access the market, if you want to do the free business with the EU, you have to stick to the EU values that are not EU values, but that are the values of all the advanced democracy regarding human rights and the rule of law and so on.
And where might the UK slot into this? How would it square with Brexit? The reason I ask, of course, is, one of the reasons is because the Labour Party have said that this is a complete non-starter at this point.
To be very frank, we worked dozens of hours on that report over 8 months, and we never devoted 2 minutes to address the UK case. So we were surprised by the big fuss about that report. United Kingdom, we mentioned United Kingdom once, saying that in the larger tier, UK could join, but it's really up to British authorities. I mean, UK is an advanced democracy respecting the rule of law, is a very important economic power. It may be interesting or not for UK to join that larger circle. And I guess there cannot be a rule preventing that to happen. Yesterday, the question was asked to the French ministry, Laurence Beaune. She was a bit embarrassed because, again, the report was not written to solve UK issues, but she said, why not? And I guess this may be an option, and this would maybe even satisfy some request of part of the public opinion in the UK that was very much interested in the single market, but maybe a bit less by the other policies that sounded too federal to them.